Hello everyone and welcome to today's video, and in this video today I'll be walking you through how to install Night Software's Emergency Response Simulator and Night Software's MDT. Now we are going to be integrating the MDT with the ERS, and hopefully if you guys follow through the video step by step we will get it working for you. Now if you've not already bought the resources, I'd recommend going to the top link in the description of this video. You'll get a direct link to this site which will look just like this, and if you go ahead and head over to products at the very top and press Emergency Response Simulator, you'll be greeted with these three. Now I'd recommend going for the most expensive, as if we take a look real quick, that does just happen to have everything. It's got ERS, smart fires, hose, subtitles, all that good stuff. Now if you don't want to buy all of that, just buy the ERS and MDT. You're not required to have the MDT, but I'd recommend getting the MDT. And what we'll do now is, let's say you've already assumed let's assume you've already got it, or if you've not, let's just say you've just bought it. You will get the access on either Keymaster and or the CFX portal, which is the new version of Keymaster. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and close this page down. We're going to go ahead and go to granted assets, and we're going to go ahead and search up the EA Nightwalker's Fear, which this is the developer. This is just his name on FiveM or CFX, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to go ahead and look for three files. One, we're going to look for his MDT. So we're going to go ahead and press download. We're going to go ahead and press download on the Emergency Response Simulator, and then we're also going to go ahead and press download on the API. Now that we've done that, you can go ahead and close out of that. You do not need to be on that page anymore. We're going to go ahead and minimize, bring our downloads area over. We're going to go ahead and hold right click and drag over these three. We're going to go ahead and press WinRAR, extract files, press OK, and it will be giving you this folder, so it should. Then what we're going to do, we're going to delete these three because we don't need them now. Open up downloads, and you've got these. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through each one of these folders. There is going to be about 4 configuration files we'll be going through in total, 2 of which inside of the shifts, which is very important, and then obviously the ERS and then the API. I'll try to explain as much as I can, but some of them I will just say ignore because it's a default and you do not need to change it. However, you can if you want to. So without further ado, let's get started with the API config.lua. We're going to go ahead and bring that over. This is the default configuration for it. Now you can use the API and the default, basically this from Nightsoft themselves, or you can do what we're going to do in this video, which I'll be showing you right now, is how to use your own API. So we're going to go ahead and start over to line 17, drag from the right all the way to the left and clear, backspace, backspace. Now we're going to go ahead and change this to our server name, just to be specific with it. You don't need to be, but let's do it anyway. We're going to go ahead and grab the server name, and we're going to go ahead and put it right there. Then we're also going to right click the server, copy server ID. I'm just going to go ahead and move this out of the way for now. You're going to copy server ID, put that there. Now if we go ahead and look at these, you'll see you've got administrator, police role, ambulance role, fire role, allow listed, and banned. If you don't understand how this works or what this basically means, they're basically doing it from, let's say, highest role to lowest, and these are basically how it should look. So we're going to go to our Discord server that we've got here for the video. Going to go to roles here. I'm just going to make another role code toe, just because I could have done with actually making this in the first place. And what we're going to do is we're going to add it into here. So we're going to put, let's say we're going to put member here, toe here, fire here, police here. We're going to go ahead and put staff here. I'm just going to remove this for instance. Now what we're going to do is grab the role ID. So right click member, replace it there, toe, same here, fire, same here, police, same here, staff, same here. Now what we're going to do now for this to be basically finished with is we're going to need a Discord bot token, which you can get by going to the second link in the description, which will direct you to this page. You may need to log into your Discord, please do so. Then what you'll do, top right, blue button, new application. You can give it whatever name you want. I'm going to call it ERS API. Create the bot. Confirm you're not a robot, even though I might be. And we're going to go to the auth section first of all. Actually, we're going to go OAuth 2. Now I'd recommend doing this, so just follow along. It will work. So bot admin, copy that link, go to your Discord server, and we're going to go ahead and paste the link. Then we're going to open it. It will direct you to which server you want to put it in. OK, authorize, Press OK. I'm not a robot again. Now this part's done. You don't need to worry about this Discord really anymore from here. So we're going to go back to the Discord developer portal. Go to bot. Press reset token. And if you've got 2FA, it'll ask you for your 2FA code. Or it will ask you to put your password in if you don't. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this over real quick. I'm going to go ahead and put my password in for my account. There we go. And here you'll see the token and you can press copy. Now, by all means, do not share this token at all. Bad idea. Not much might happen, but don't do it anyway. I'm doing it on this video because I'm always going to reset the token. This is just for tutorial purposes only. So copy the bot token. Now go ahead and move this out of the way real quick and place it directly. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Right there in between. So I'm going to paste it there. Zoom out a little bit more. And I'm going to go ahead and save and close because we've done that now. So what we're going to do now is move on to the next file on the list, which is ERS. So ERS config.lua. Now this is another important file we're going to read through. So let's full screen, make it a little bit bigger. So language, you can follow what it says here. You can change it between the options. Same with US. If you don't know how the US works, it's day, month, year for EN. For US, it's month, day, year. So if you want to leave it as default, leave it as default. Now, you can leave this alone as well, default. Enable night shifts, which we're going to do for the MDT. So we're going to do manage shifts by MDT, but that's true. Same for this. And we're going to do it for the persistent entities, which means you can run the MPC information through the MDT database. So we're going to do that. Subtitles, if you've got them, you don't have to have them as it says to the right. It's optional. But if you've got them and you want to use them, leave that to true by default. If you don't want to use them, which I'm obviously not going to for tutorial purposes, I'm going to set that to false. Now, for that's nice ball false. Now, for the nearest postal, you don't need to have the nearest postal as it says optional. There is a free thing here, but I'm obviously going to leave that to false for the video now. And the Discord webhook, what we're going to do for this is leave that to false as well. I can't spell apparently. But actually, pardon me, I'm not going to be that type of guy. I'm going to help you guys with this part. So the nearest postal, like I just said, we're going to ignore. We're not going to ignore. We're going to set that back to true. Then what we're going to do, we're going to copy this link here that they've provided with us. We're going to open our Google back up. Going to paste that on our Google right here. It'll bring you to this page. And we are going to try and look for... I'm not a million% sure where they've got it, but I'm assuming they've got it. Here we go. Download the nearest postal script. So, got it there. Open back up your downloads. Let's go back here. We're going to right-click, WinRAR, Files, Extract, nearest postal, nearest postal. So this is how it'll look on the inside. So we're going to go back, rename it, take master off, save, and we're just going to go ahead and just cut this real quick and put it inside of our downloads. And we're going to just delete that, and we're good. So now it's in here, we're good. So we're going to go ahead and leave the nearest postal to true. We're going to go ahead and scroll down. Now, you can leave this to true if you want, or you can leave it to false if you don't want it to work, but you can also change it to your own information here. But we're also now just going to leave it for just true for the video. So if we scroll down, anyone has that permission, it's going to leave that. Age permission, you can set these to true if you really want to. If your server is using the framework of ESX or QB, you can go ahead and set these up here by putting them for false to true. The permission roles, this part we will need to change. So we open back up our API and config.lua. I'm going to go ahead and bring it here. And we're going to basically half and half it. So I'm going to bring that up a little bit bigger there and there. What we're going to do is this part here, we're going to remove this, that, and that. So it should just look like this. But what we're going to do is change it to how we have it. So we're going to put it to police, fire, and call this one fire as well. I'm just going to call this one tow. Scrolling down, we can go ahead and close this MDT, not the MDT, sorry, the API configuration. We can close that now that we've got what we needed. If we full screen it back up, I would not recommend changing any of this stuff. It's already good as it is. The PvP, I would recommend go ahead and leaving that to false, meaning killing is enabled. Now, if we keep scrolling down, like I said, the rest of this is fine. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Everything's looking good. These are the keybinds. This one's pointless right now because we're obviously going to install MDT. So this keybind's just going to change to our charge for the MDT. Now, the rest here is useful, except in call out as X for completing it, called code 4 in it, whenever you refer to it as. That'd be the X muscle. Then you've got track, Z, left shift, U. And if you want to do the pullover mode, which is U, which allows you to actually control the vehicle, you can press your left or right arrow key and it'll go absolutely left or right. Other than that, if you don't do that, if you're driving forwards, the person will drive forwards, the NPC. If you're doing it where you want the suspect to actually just go directly in front of you, like I said, just keep driving, go right, go left, they will go that way as well and mimic in front of you. So leave that alone right there, keep going down, everything there. These are the commands that are there. There's also the /request callout command, which is a pretty good callout in case you don't want to wait for them. You can do that, or you can do stop tracking, complete callout, all that. So all these are absolutely fine. We can go ahead and leave these. Do not touch these at all. All of this looks pretty much good to me. We've got no reason to change this. If you want to change it, go through it and change it. We're going to go ahead and close that out now. Go back, go to shifts, config.lua. Very important config to look through. Open that up. Now let's go down. If you want to change the time format to the US one, which would be however they do it, you can go ahead and change it there. Miles per hour, you can change it to kilometers. API, yes, we're doing that. We're doing the nearest possible. We're doing the battery system, and we're going to go ahead and disable the webhook. Yeah, disable webhook because we're not doing it for this video. ERS, yes. Put the kick missing identifiers. Put that to true. But what I'm actually going to do just for the video is just going to leave it to false for now. ERS, make sure that's on. Yes, yes, yes. It's all good. If you don't want to use the MDT battery system, leave that. Put that to false. But for now, we're going to leave it to true. And these are where you can change some of the commands. So if you want to do /999, which is emergency services, you can change that to 911 or leave it to 999. You can change these commands the same way as well. We're going to scroll down, and this is the important one. We're going to be using F10 for opening the MDT. So we're going to just leave all this to default, save it, exit, open MDT_config.lua, drag it over, we open this up. And this is where it gets fun now. So this is where you can start doing some genuine good internal editing. So at the very top, when you open the card or MDT, whenever you refer to it as, it will say Mobile Data Terminal. You can change that to anything. So for example, we can call it San Andreas MDT. You can leave it like that for the video, just so you guys can see how it can change. For the HUD, we'll leave all this to true. If you don't want any either of these, put them to false. All of these you can change. So for example, we'll put that to home, just a lowercase it for my looks. Shift, we'll put that to patrol panel as it would be, let's say American based. PNC, that would be NCIC search. If you want to have it like that, you don't have to, you can leave it default, but this is how I have it. Now if we scroll down this part here, if you know what you're doing for this, good. If you don't, basically whatever the folder or file is called inside of here is what it's trying to find. So if I go to this folder, go back, NUI images. If we full screen, you'll see here it's looking for 999_call2.png. That's what it's doing there. That's what it'll do. You can change that to anyone you want. Now, moving on, all of this stuff here is good. You don't genuinely need to change this because it's all well and done good. You can do these, and if you do want to do your own custom, for example, I'm just going to back up this real quick, and you could do it like this where you do, you can do 1, 2, 3, and you can put this to like 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, and then you can do things, for example, like 10.3, which would be in America, it would be sometimes it'd be stop transmitting, basically, which is what you can do. You can change it here to stop talking is what we're going to say, but we're not going to do that. We're going to leave it to default. And obviously, when you do these, if you do change them, make sure you keep it in order from 1 to whatever numbering count all the way up by 1 number. But for the sake of the video, we're going to keep it default. So we're going to keep it like that. And one thing I will explain, let's say you've got this one. Let's say this is 10.8, which in America would mean in service, which we can change here as well. We can change to in service, but we're not going to. You would change up here where it says on duty status index. You would change that to 8. Not 8, sorry. You change it to 9. Just because this is 10.8, you wouldn't put it to 10.8. you put this to 9 because it follows on the left side. But revert back to default. No need to change that right now. There we go. NCIC search. So I'm going to leave that to default. There's nothing we need to change. So we're going to close that out. And we're going to go back. And now we're going to go to the next thing, which I said there's 4, but there's actually 5. So department config, a very, very important one as well. If you don't do this, your stuff will not work. So what we're going to do real quick is go to our API just so we make sure we've got the correct names. We're going to go ahead and put this here and make it, oh, didn't mean to do that, sorry. Going to go ahead and full screen or side screen it there and do the same thing with this one, but a little bit bigger. Now, what we're going to do is at the very top here, guild names, we're only going to put the same as what we have. So we're going to copy this and we're going to just go ahead and rename it there. Police roles with permissions. So let's go ahead and just move that over. What did I do? Oh, there you go. So we're going to just make that a little bit bigger. Move that over, sorry. What we're going to do, make that a little bit bigger. At the very top here, it says Essex Police Force Ambulance Service, so on and so forth. We're going to go ahead and change these. So let's move over a little bit. We're going to go ahead and, what did I do? We're going to remove Essex Police Force and put it with Police Ambulance Service. We're going to put that with Fire. This we can leave as Fire. So we're just going to go ahead and put that as Tow. We're going to put this as our member role. And we're going to go ahead and remove this extra additional one we've got. Now, if you do want to do different departments, for example, if we scroll down here, because we don't need this anymore, so close that out. If we want to do it where, obviously, there's multiple different departments like BCSO or LSPD or whatever the department might be called, you can go ahead and add them on here as long as it's obviously in the API. You've done it in these shifts. Once you add it in here, you can do, for example, BCSO and LSPD. And let's say this is LSPD. You'd put the LSPD short name here, scroll down to the next department. Let's say this one's BCSO. You put the short name there, meaning if they've got the BCSO or LSPD role, it'll have access to that specific department. But again, for the sake of the video, we're going to be keeping this to like I've got here, my little edited version from the default. And what we're going to do is scroll down. Let's say we're going to put the short name to police. Actually, we don't need that. Not the short name. I'm stupid. Not the short name. The role name. The role name, we're going to change it from Essex Police Force to Police and put the short name. We're just going to put this back to Met. And if we also scroll down, there needs to at least be one rank here. You can change this. So we can change this to Officer, for example. We're going to change Essex Police Force to Police. Now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and scroll down. Make sure your first sub-department, which you can remove them all, but you are required to at least have one. We're going to go ahead and put this to Police, because you are required to put that there as well. Scroll down, London Ambulance Service. We're going to go ahead and replace Ambulance Service with Fire. And we're going to go ahead and replace the first one here again with Fire. Replace this with Fire. Now, if we keep scrolling down, got Fire again. I'm just going to just basically do the same thing here because I didn't make an EMS role for this part, but you get the idea at least, hopefully. Put the Fire here. Now, if we scroll down a little bit further, we've got the Tow. So we're going to go ahead and put the name from AA_recovery to Tow and do the same thing here. Do the same thing here. Now that we've done that, that should all be well done. It should be ready. There should be no reason why that should not work at all. So there's also, civilians also a thing. So we're also going to change allow listed to member, change allow listed to member. Now it'll work. So we're going to make sure, did we put member at the top? We did. So that's all there. Put this to staff, for example. Save. Close. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the resources from our system into the server. So what we're going to do is open up the files, and we're going to make a folder just for my pure looks of it. We're going to call it ERS. We're going to go ahead and open it up. You're going to go ahead. Oh, apparently there's files there. These must be the old ones. Yeah, the old ones. What we're going to do is go ahead and drop the API. You're actually going to drop all of them, but I'm going to drop the quickest two right now. Or quickest three, I should say. The quickest three are the API, postal, and shifts. The longest one that does take the most amount of time is the ERS because of everything it has, because it's main script. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut the video, and I will clip to basically when we've actually got the ERS into the files, and we'll move on to the next step. So I'll see you all in a second. Okay, we are back. So let's say now we've actually moved these files into here. We can go ahead and minimize this. And what we're going to do is open up our server.cfg. So if I open up my servers.cfg, it's going to open up another screen, which I'm glad it did, so it didn't show my server key. We're going to go ahead and scroll down to this part. Now, make sure you do have your database connected. If you don't, this will not work. If it's connected, good. Make sure you've got MySQL installed. If you do, good. Preferably install it something like this and showing it with the database. That's good. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and move to the little separate area I've made here. We're going to manually basically start each resource we've just installed. Now, what we'll do is we'll do it from start, and hopefully you guys just understand, because the reason why we've got to do it this way is otherwise the resources won't function properly. It's got to be in a certain order. If not, like I said, won't work. So we're going to do ensure, make my life a little bit easier here. So on the first ensure, we're going to do night_discord API. Next one, night shifts, night ERS, and then this one we're going to go ahead and put it the exact same name as our nearest postal. So nearest postal, save. Now that we've done that, that's perfect. That's great. It should and will definitely work now. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And what we're going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and cut to me into the server, and I will show you guys what it will look like. Okay, so as you guys load in, now what you'll see is that it might say, your road might not be found, but then a few seconds later it'll say your MDT is ready for usage. So what we'll do here, it'll say the location at the very top. You'll also see the three icons, and it'll say the postal that we're at, which is 804748. It'll update itself. So what we're going to do now, you can see that it's obviously working, so it should be. We're going to go ahead and press F10. I'm going to just click the Windows key on my end because it'll make it quicker. Because me recording on OBS for some reason seems to make my game slow. I'm not sure, it makes my menu slow, but I can assure you this 100%. The ERS and MDT is not this slow. This is just how my PC is wanting to be. So if you remember the changes we made, you've got San Andreas MDT here, and CIC search here, and patrol panel. You see how we've changed all that. Now we're going to go to Metropolitan Police Service. Then we're going to go ahead and go to the button here where it says toggle shift, so press that. Then we're also going to go ahead and press the all on duty button, which is number 1. And we're going to go ahead and change the call sign. And you can put whatever you want, but I'm going to go ahead and put mine as 313 because that's what I always use. And then we're going to go ahead and press the X to get out of that. Now that we're on, we will receive callouts. What we can also do is, let's clear this out, we do request call out.
Do we have any units available to respond to an emergency?
It will give you the postal, it will say all this at the top right, and if you want to respond, you can press Y.
You've been assigned to the most recent emergency call.
Here.
Proceed to the location.
And that is how you successfully install ERS. And obviously with this part now, if you want to also close it, you can go ahead and press X. If it wants to press X, that is. There you go. And then yes.
Your unit has been disengaged from the previous call out.
It's plain as simple as that. If you want to know the keybinds for it, check the configuration. Or there might be some kind of public docs. I'm not 1,000,000% sure, but checking the configuration is usually the best bet. Now that is, like I said, that is how you install the MDT with ERS on the current version. If you have any issues, please join the Discord server, which I will link in the description as well. And there is a community support channel, which is very useful, very helpful for people. Or if you want to directly contact me for support, I will put my @ in there as well, and you can essentially contact me through there. Now with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you do find this video very helpful, please drop a like and even a comment. Anything will really help. If you've got any friends or anyone that needs help with this video, or even in the Discord server,
we've received another emergency call. Are there any units free to handle it?
This will very much help them. And if there is any other updates, I will be posting more on them as well. So without further ado, thanks guys for watching. Drop a like, follow, subscribe, whatever you want to say. I'll see you guys in the next video.